The most asked MCQs, Emily Dickinson, Life and Poetry. Hello and welcome to the discourse. Let us revise the poems of Emily Dickinson, the Nun of Amherst, who was known for her excellent use of open verse, slant rhymes, and unusual capitalization and punctuation in her poetry. We will revise her poems through a series of multiple choice questions and will try to cover all important poems by Emily Dickinson along with all the important biographical facts related to her. So let us begin with the first question. How many poems did Emily Dickinson produce in her lifetime? Option A 100, option B 500, option C 25 and option D 1800. The correct choice is D 1800. There are 1800 known poems that Emily Dickinson wrote during her lifetime. Question number 2 is, what is one of Emily Dickinson's posthumous nicknames? Option A, Ballet of Amherst, option B, The Bard, option C, The Reclusive Genius, and option D, Queen Recluse. The correct choice is A, Ballet of Amherst or The Nun of Amherst is her posthumous nickname. Question number 3 is, what was Dickinson's favorite subject in her school? Option A, botany, option B, composition, option C, literature, and option D, mathematics. The correct answer is A, botany was her favorite subject. Question number 4 is, Emily Dickinson belonged to option A, 1830 to 1886, option B, 1815 to 1850, option C, 1850 to 1906, and option D is 1830 to 1896. The right choice is A. Emily Dickinson was born in 1830 and she died in 1886. Question number 5 is, Emily Dickinson had literary affinity with option A, Emerson, option B, Thoreau, option C, Melville, and option D, Whitman. The right answer is A, Emerson. All the four, Emerson, Thoreau, Melville and Whitman, were active during her lifetime. She got a copy of the American Scholar during her early years and was influenced by Emerson's essay. Like Whitman, she wrote poems in free verses, yet she never read Whitman's poems. Question number 6 is, in poems of Dickinson, one finds turn of wit and elliptical metaphors as in option A, Hopkins, option B, the metaphysical poets, option C, Whitman, and option D, Longfellow. The right choice is B, the metaphysical poets. Dickinson's poems are often compared with the poetry of metaphysical poets. Question number 7 is, who wrote I Find Ecstasy in Living? Option A, Whitman, option B, Longfellow, option C, Frost, and option D, Dickinson. The correct answer is D, Dickinson. It is a short poem by Dickinson. Question number 8 is, what author was not an influence on Dickinson's writings? Option A, George Eliot, option B, Gustav Flaubert, option C, Thomas Carlyle, and option D, Charlotte Bronte. The correct answer is B, Gustav Flaubert. He was not an influence on Dickinson's writings. Question number 9 is, which poet did Dickinson often quote in conversations? Option A, Coleridge, S.T. Coleridge, option B, Longfellow, option C, Whitman, and option D, Blake. The correct answer is B, Longfellow. He had a great influence on Dickinson. Question number 10 is, which book had a transformative effect on Dickinson that she read during the winter of 1849 to 1850? Option A is Jane Eyre, option B, Uncle Tom's Cabin, option C, Wuthering Heights, and option D, Madame Bovary. The correct answer is A, Jane Eyre. Question number 11 is, the name of the newspaper editor who published the first poem of Dickinson was option A, Dr. Charles Wordsworth, option B, Samuel Bowles, option C, Henry Emmons, and option D, Thomas Wentworth. The correct answer is B, Samuel Bowles. He was the newspaper editor who published her first poem. Question number 12 is, who wrote Because I Could Not Stop for Death? He kindly stopped for me. The carriage held just ourselves and immortality. Option A, Edward Arlington Robinson. Option B, Robert Frost. Option C, Emily Dickinson, and option D, Vachel Lindsay. The correct answer is C, Emily Dickinson, because I Could Not Stop for Death is one of the most talked about poem by Emily Dickinson. Question number 13 is, Dickinson's poetry represents option A, political life at Washington, option B, seminary life at Amherst, option C, interior life, and option D, social life. The correct choice is C, Dickinson's poems represent interior reclusive life. Question number 14 is, the Letters of Emily Dickinson introduces the reader to option A, contemporary world of her time, option B, the mind of the poet, option C, religious longings, and option D, lamenting unreciprocated love. The correct answer is B, the Letters of Emily Dickinson gives the reader an idea about the mind of Dickinson, the poetess. Question number 15 is, a study of Emily Dickinson's works is puzzling because option A, because of undue attention to biographical details, option B, because of her being a woman, option C, because of being a politician's daughter, and option D, because of being a prolific poet. The right choice is D, because of being a prolific poet. She wrote some 1800 poems. Question number 16 is, Dickinson can be described as option A, feminist, option B, a poet expressing her voice of the self honestly, option C, believer in fine trade, option D, familiar with the art of writing. The right answer is B, Dickinson can be described as a poet expressing her voice of the self honestly, truthfully. Question number 17 is, what two images does Dickinson use to symbolize success in Success is Counted Sweetest? Option A, the nectar and the olive branch. Option B, the nectar and the victorious army. Option C, the laurel and the victorious army. And option D, the olive branch and the laurel. The right choice is A, Dickinson uses the nectar and the victorious army. The right choice is B actually. Dickinson uses the nectar and the victorious army to symbolize success. Question number 18 is, who is entombed near the speaker of I Died for Beauty? Option A, one who died for fame. Option B, one who died for love. Option C, one who died for truth. And option D, one who died for lust. The correct choice is C. One who died for truth is entombed near the speaker of I Died for Beauty. Question number 19 is, who among the given below was a close friend and mentor of Emily Dickinson? Option A, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Option B, Walt Whitman. Option C, William Blake. And option D, none of these. She was not friends with any important poet. The right answer is D, none of these. She was not friends with any important poet. Question number 20 is, in Because I Could Not Stop for Death, what does the poet pass by during her carriage ride with death? Option A, schoolyard, a college dance, and a parade. Option B, a schoolyard, a ripened field, and a setting sun. Option C, a setting sun, a scarecrow, and a college dance. Option D, a ripened field, a battle, and a schoolyard. The correct answer is B, the poet and the death with immortality pass by a schoolyard, a ripened field, and a setting sun. Question number 21 is, what is the reader assumed to be in I Am Nobody, Who Are You? Option A, part of the admiring crowd. Option B, a public figure. Option C, somebody. And option D, nobody. The correct answer is D, nobody. Question number 21 is, which of the following poems is most focused on the physicality of death? Option A, Because I Could Not Stop for Death. Option B, I Died for Beauty. Option C, There's a Certain Slant of Light. And option D, I Heard a Fly Buzz When I Died. The right choice is D, I Heard a Fly Buzz is the poem most focused on the physicality of death. However, the poem A, Because I Could Not Stop for Death, poem B, I Died for Beauty, these two poems are also about death, but in the fourth poem, I Heard a Fly Buzz, Dickinson explains and describes death in most physical form. Question number 22 is, what creature distracts the dying speaker in a Dickinson's poem? Option A, a fox. Option B, a sparrow. Option C, a bee. And option D, a fly. The right choice is D, a fly. The poem is I Heard a Fly Buzz When I Died. Question number 23 is, which of the following does not describe Emily Dickinson and her poetry? Option A, formally subversive. Option B, prolific. Option C, difficult. And option D, traditional. The right answer is D, traditional. Emily Dickinson and her poetry are not traditional. She is formally subversive, she is prolific, she is difficult, but she is not traditional. Question number 24 is, what is dreary in I Am Nobody, Who Are You? Option A, to be somebody. Option B, to be nobody. Option C, to be part of the admiring crowd. And option D, to be alone. The right answer is A, to be somebody is dreary. Question number 25 is, what color does Dickinson use to describe the fly buzz in I Heard a Fly Buzz When I Died? Option A, blue. Option B, white. Option C, black. And option D, brown. The right choice is A, blue. Dickinson describes the fly's buzz in color blue. Question number 26 is, Dickinson considered the speaker in her poems to be option A, an imaginary person, option B, God, option C, herself, and option D, no one. The correct choice is A. Dickinson considered the speaker to be an imaginary person. Question number 27 is, Emily Dickinson's most critiqued and discussed poem is option A, a bird came down the walk. Option B, because I could not stop for death. Option C, I am nobody, who are you? And option D, this consciousness that is aware. The correct answer is B, because I could not stop for death, is the most critiqued and discussed poem by Emily Dickinson. Question number 28 is, which of the following does the bird not do in A Bird Came Down the Walk? Stress on not. Option A is perch on the speaker's finger. Option B, eat an angleworm. Option C, drink dew from the grass. And option D, fly away. The right answer is A. The bird doesn't perch on the speaker's finger. Question number 29 is, what animal is public in the poem I Am Nobody? Option A, a bee. Option B, a snake. Option C, a bird. And option D, a frog. The correct answer is D. In the poem I Am Nobody, the public is represented by a frog. Question number 30 is, in Emily Dickinson's poems, death sometimes takes the form of option A, a baby, option B, a friend, option C, a bird, and option D, a lover. The right choice is D, a lover. Dickinson depicted death as a lover in some of her poems. Question number 31 is, the poems I Dwell in Possibility and A Word Made Flesh is Seldom are both about option A, gravy, option B, death, option C, poetry, and option D, spring. The right choice is C, poetry. Both these poems, I Dwell in Possibility and A Word Made Flesh is Seldom, are about poetry. Question number 32 is, which lines of Dickinson's poems rhyme the most often? Option A, all of them. Option B, first and third. Option C, none of them. And option D, second and fourth. The correct answer is B. The first and the third line of Dickinson's poems rhyme most often. Question number 33 is, in several of Dickinson's poems, seasonal change becomes a symbol for option A, aging and death, option B, God's impertinence, option C, external changes, and option D, inner change. The right answer is D. Inner change is represented by seasonal change in poems of Dickinson's. Question number 34 is, which American essayist did Dickinson carry out a lifelong correspondence with after seeing his opinion about her poetry? Option A, Thomas Wentworth Higginson. Option B, John Greenleaf Whittier. Option C, William Cullen Bryant. And option D, Ralph Waldo Emerson. The correct answer is A. Dickinson remained in lifelong correspondence with Thomas Wentworth Higginson. Question number 35 is, which of the following poets was not a significant influence on Dickinson's poetry? Option A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Option B. Robert Browning. Option C. Walt Whitman. And option D. John Keats. The right answer is C. Walt Whitman. She never read Whitman because she was kept away from his works as he was considered indecent by her family. Question number 36 is, complete the line, hope is the thing with dash. Option A. Elbows. Option B. Ears. Option C. Eyes. And option D. Feathers. The correct choice is D. Feathers. Hope is the thing with feathers is a poem by Dickinson. We have discussed this poem in our lecture. Question number 37 is, what sort of rhyming device does Dickinson often employ? Option A. She does not rhyme. Option B. ABA rhyme. Option C. Slant rhyme. And option D. Straight rhyme. The correct option is C. Slant rhyme. Dickinson is known for the use of slant rhyme in her poems. Question number 38 is, which of the following is one of Dickinson's most dominant themes? Option A. Joy. Option B. Forgiveness. Option C. Death. And option D. Enlightenment. The right choice is C. Death. Dickinson often wrote about death in her poems. Question number 39 is, among her friends and family, what was a common nickname for Dickinson? Option A. The Shadow. Option B. Sad Spinster. Option C. Queen Recluse. And option D. The Nun. The right choice is C. Queen Recluse was her common name in her friends and family. Question number 40 is, what is the second line of To Fill a Gap? Option A. Make it yawn the more. Option B. Block it up with air. Option C. Solder it with doubt. And option D. Insert the thing that caused it. The right answer is D. Insert the thing that caused it. It is a poem by Dickinson. To fill a gap, insert the thing that caused it. So this is it for today. Dickinson's body of work is vast. We have tried to cover all major points of her biography and poetry. We will continue to sharpen our efforts for the preparation of UGC NET English, GATE English and other competitive exams. Stay connected with the discourse. Thanks and regards.